Disco Elysium. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Disco Elysium is a groundbreaking open-world role-playing game. You're a detective with a unique skill system at your disposal and a whole city block to carve your path across. Interrogate unforgettable characters, crack murders, or take bribes. Become a hero or an absolute disaster of a human being. The best way of describing this game, so that you understand what it is, it's an RPG and it's an evolution of the point-and-click adventure games from the 90s. I've played games similar to this, but never have I played a game that has so much depth, so much freedom. This is a true evolved game. A lot of the games that were around in the 90s just didn't really evolve into much, but my goodness, this has took a giant leap for RPGs and has raised the bar very, very high. So any developers out there that are releasing an RPG, I bet a lot of them are pissed off because they now have to match up to something like this. And this bar is very, very high. You see, the thing with this game is you play a cop, but you can't even remember you're a cop. You don't even know anything about yourself. You wake up in a hotel room, a trashed hotel room, may I add, and you've got no clothes on except for some dirty pants, and that's underpants. And you don't know what the hell is going on. And everything you do, every person you speak to, every decision you make has meaning and will allow you, through the leveling up that you do, to create the character that you want to be. And when I say that you can make pretty much anything you want, you pretty much can. The amount of freedom you're given as a player is just insane in this game. I mean, you can be pretty much anything. The amount of options you get, I've never seen anything like it when you're talking to people. I mean, just to give you an example, and I'm not going to spoil anything in this game. This is a very difficult game to visually review because everything you do in this game, bar walking between the quests, is potentially a spoiler. So I'm going to be very select with what I show you in the actual video and be very careful what I actually speak to you about. But I'll set the scene. You wake up, you're a cop, you've got a partner who follows you around everywhere. There's a guy being hung, he's been lynched out the back of the hotel. You've got to solve that murder. That's all I'm going to tell you about the story because it does twist and turn from that point onwards. Going back to what I was saying before about your character. As you go around doing these quests, if you like, you will get points that you can put into 24 different abilities. Now, these are abilities which will allow you to be more confident, abilities that will allow you to see things that other people can't, abilities that will make you a bit of an intimidating guy so you can bully people, abilities to give you really good logic, abilities of perception. There's 24 of them, basically. And you can put your points in any one of those and just keep expanding them over and over again. But that's just one aspect of your personality. There's also your thoughts. And you have like the ancient reptilian brain, I think it's called, that keeps talking to you now and then through the game. And it reminded me immediately of the orcs, the voice of the orcs in Lord of the Rings.
You got it, sweet brother. Nothing upon nothing upon nothing. I know you do, baby. I know. Coming right up, sir. Smooth passage. Alright, nothing town to fuck all borough. Do you want me to upgrade that to a one-way trip, sir? The song of death is sweet and endless.
It's done so damn well, as are most of the voices in this game. Some of them are a bit shit, but most of them are good. Not everything is voiced, can I just add. When you meet a new character, you probably get the first few lines of dialogue voiced. The rest is just text. There's a shit ton of text. I'll come to that in a minute. But coming back to your character again, you will be given thoughts, and you can either choose to discard this thought or to cling on to it and nurture that thought, and that thought will then become a reality for you. You can even change who you think you are with your thoughts. And as you go through the game, these things come up more and more and more, allowing you to just
totally transform who you are as a person. And these things, as you transform yourself and you become more of the character that you're trying to create, when you enter dialogue with people, little things will pop up on the screen to do with the abilities that you've selected that will give you perception, that will give you thought. Like, for example, drama will allow you to spot liars and allow you to lie as well. So the further you get in the game, the better it actually becomes with your character. It's all about developing your character, and you can do it any way you want. That's the beauty of it. You're not like gimping yourself. There's so many options and so many dialogue options in this game that you don't ever feel like you're gimping yourself. I was a bit nervous at first to do some crazy things. For example, there's the dead body that I mentioned is hanging by a tree. There's two little kids who are really, they're hilarious, but they're annoying as well. They call you all the names under the sun all the time. They annoyed me so much that one of the options I had was to take my partner's gun, because I'd lost mine when I was drunk, and shoot the dead body down from the tree. But instead, I had the option to shoot one of the kids. One of these innocent children. No, shoot the fucker. But I didn't have enough skill points in aiming and I missed, but I still was able to do it. That's the kind of game this is. You can just do what the hell you want, and that, I think, is the big selling point for this game, because not many RPGs do that. In fact, I've never really played an RPG like this before. Now, the world that you're in is broken into different zones that you unlock as the game goes on, but it is completely open world, and you get a shit ton of quests to do. Pretty much whenever you meet a new person, if you play your cards right, you can do something with that person or for that person that will allow more information to come out, which will help you in another quest. A lot of the quests are linked, but you can do them in any order you like. And that's a great thing. You don't even have to stick to the main quest. You can just go off and do side quests. You can solve them, little mysteries. And there's all sorts of nooks and crannies to uncover and get into. And you've got to also as well earn money to pay your rent until later on in the game when you get a place that's actually free. And the whole progress is kind of locked behind skill checks. Now, what a skill check is you will have to have a certain skill in a certain thing to get further in that area of questioning that you're going down. And that will be all directly related to your stats. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you've got 24 of these that you can put points into, but also your clothes that you wear, and you can customize all the different areas of your body that would take clothes. All the clothes have different stats as well. So you can get yourself into a situation where you might need a bit of perception or whatever, and you can just stop the conversation, go into your, this is a bit daft, go into your inventory, bring out all the clothes with the stat you need to get past the skill check, put them on, do the skill check, and then progress on. That's a bit shit, but you can actually do that, and it is kind of immersion breaking when you just kind of in the middle of a conversation and you say, hang on a second, I'm just going to put my lucky hat on, this jacket and these spectacles, because then I'll be able to pass your bloody skill check. Another thing that you have to be careful of in this game is you have to really read everything, and this is the thing that's going to put a lot of people off. You can't just click on every possible dialogue option to get through. If you do that, you're going to really mess things up. You have to be careful. People remember stuff, and your decisions actually matter in this game. Now, I don't know how much dialogue's in this game, but it's more than any other game that I've ever played. If you don't like reading in a game, don't buy this game, because you will not like it, because there is a shit ton of reading in this game. It is a very, very slow burner, this game. Loads of reading. Some of it's kind of boring. Most of it's very well written, but some of it kind of goes off at a tangent a bit, and it can get a bit, so just bear that in mind. Now, despite all this, I've pretty much done with the game, and I haven't finished it. And I'm pretty much done with it. And it's not because it's a bad game. It's just not a bad game. It's a bloody good game, this. It's simply because the actual subject matter, the actual scenario that the game is, the fact that it's like the cop thing and who you are and everything, didn't really appeal to me. The story in the setting of what it is pretty good. It really is. But the setting just never caught me. It just never, ever. I tried my best. Like a couple of days I played it. I tried my best to get hooked in this game, but I just couldn't. I don't know whether it was just too much text, but I don't think it was that. I think the way I kind of felt coming to kind of end playing it just today was that I'm not massively invested in the place that I'm at. I'm not massively invested in the murder and solving it. It wasn't for me, this game. Now, that doesn't mean that it's a bad game. That just means that it just wasn't really for me. Now, the whole mechanics of the game are totally for me. Absolutely. I would have just liked it to be in maybe a different setting than what it actually was. And that's purely subjective. So if you're not into the cop kind of thing and the detective and solving crimes, and you have to solve a lot of mysteries in this game, then you might want to give it a miss. But no doubt about it, guys, this is an absolutely phenomenally good game. Very well written. Amazing RPG elements in this game. I've never seen anything quite like this before, not as fleshed out as what this is. If you're into RPGs, if you like the whole idea of being a cop with a clean slate that you can write his entire personality, and dialogue options that let you do what the hell you want and be, it's laugh out loud funny, guys. I mean, I have been laughing my head off playing this game over the last 2 days. Some of the dialogue options are bloody hilarious. They really, really are. So if that's your kind of thing, you're going to absolutely love this game. For me, I couldn't get as engrossed simply because of the subject matter. That was the thing that I just wasn't really into the actual story. But there you go, guys. Disco Elysium is definitely worth a buy. One of the best RPGs out there. And it does set the bar very, very high for all future RPGs.